Hey guys, how you doing? Ray here again. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, it's Nitrokyosho. I apologize for some of the blurred out videos, guys. I had the autofocus going on my camera here, and this is a new camera, HD camera, and I've been trying to get all the bugs worked out of it. So I changed that, and hopefully we won't get any more blurred videos. So I do apologize for that. What we have here is the Blade 130X by E-Flite, and today we're going to talk about some tips to maintaining this thing and keeping it flying and working very good for you. Let me pull the canopy off this, guys, and we're going to bring it in a little closer here. Today what we're going to be talking about, if I can hold this out so you can see it, is the bearings in the sky. Alright, now there is approximately, as far as I've counted, there's 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 12 bearings throughout this machine. And let me get one more thing here to show you. Okay, this is some Labelle 108. It's a medium, and it is synthetic oil. Okay, and it's perfect for getting into all these bearings on this little guy here. Alright, now we're going to talk about some of the bearings and where they are and how much you need to be lubing them up. Now the first one is the big guy here. That's your big main one. Okay, that's located inside the swash there. Now you can't miss that guy. Okay, that one's going to take a lot of abuse, guys, so definitely keep that one oiled. I like to oil mine about every 2 flights. You don't have to drench it, but do put some oil there. The other thing I like to do is put a little dab of oil on the main shaft, okay, before the flights also, so it slides up and down a little bit easier. As far as the bevel gear inside of here, okay, that hits on the front torque tube gear, you can put a little dab of like a white lithium grease in there to keep that running smooth. Okay, there is some bearings, guys, inside of the blade grips, but because of the limited movement, you don't have to really get in there and do those. They're not taking that much abuse. They're moving very little. Okay, I would concentrate more on the back of the machine back here. Alright, I like to keep, I put a little dab of oil on the tail rotor shaft before a flight, so the pitch slider can slide back and forth nice and smooth on there. I like to oil the bearing in either side of the tail casing, on that side and the bearing on that side. They're flanged bearings. And with that needle that I showed you guys, you can drop oil in back of this torque tube gear back here. You can drop it down inside there. The other bearing is on the other side, which you'd have to take the casing off to access, which is not a hard thing to do. You just have to pop off your rudder rod arm there and then take that one screw and just pull that off, and you can drop a dab of oil in there. So I like to put a little dab on here to keep this pitch slider moving nice. I put just a little dab on the other side. I do the 2 flanged bearings. I drop it on the bearing in back of this torque tube gear. Alright. I oil that big main bearing like I was talking about. You can actually access the little bearing on top of the motor, on top of the shaft there. If I can get that so you can see it. Right here, you can drop just a little dab in there. You'd have to, I think you could probably, yeah, you can access the bottom one too with that needle. You can get, sorry guys, you can get the needle underneath there. There's room between the pinion gear. they're saying there's also a bearing located on top of the main gear here. Okay, on top there, which you'd have to pull that gear down probably to access. And the other bearing is they're calling for on top, okay, of the bevel gear in there. So there's one on top of there and one here. So basically, guys, if you get something like this with a needle, the extension, you can access all of those. I've been using this stuff for years on my T-Rex helicopters, on the 450s, the 500, and I've never lost a bearing. I do a lot of oiling the main shaft, the swash plates, and keeping everything lubed up. And realistically, guys, if you lube those bearings and you keep oiling them, they should last forever. Okay? So those are my tips on keeping this thing working good. Like I said, there's two in the there's two in the tail blade grips, guys, back there inside of here. I'll get this so you can see it. There's also ones inside of here. Now, you would have to take off probably the tail blades to access them and drop a little oil in there. But I wouldn't really get too crazy with those, guys, or the main blade grips, because they don't move really a whole heck of a lot. Not like the main bearing or the motor, which is spinning all the time, or the tail shaft, which, the more you lube that tail shaft up and it's sliding back and forth easier, there's less resistance on that. Your servos are going to last longer. And if you keep these little bearings lubed up, guys, they should, sorry about that. If you keep those lubed up, guys, they should really last forever. So that's my tips and tricks for this little guy. You can find those bearings also in your manual breakdown where they are. Get yourself a little LaBelle 108 oil. Keep them lubed up and you'll stay flying great, guys. Thanks for watching.